Yeah. Oh. 2, 3. This week we're going to show you how to make chocolate ice cream.
So stick around for our entire chocolate ice cream recipe. For our entire thingy.
You ready?
Hello, my name is Squidward.
Time and battery.
This chocolate ice cream recipe is for a deeper, richer chocolate.
Just with one hand? Okay.
Yeah, boy.
So to get a deep, rich chocolate flavor, we use a secret ingredient.
Strong, fresh brewed coffee.
Ready?
Yeah.
I hate myself so much. That's what she does at school.
Now we're going to list all the tools, bowls, and utensils that you'll need to make your chocolate ice cream recipe. 1 or 2 wire whisks, a medium to large stock pot, a sharp knife, a large mixing bowl, a ladle and a stirring spoon, a fine mesh strainer, a cooling rack, a candy or digital thermometer, an immersion blender, a bowl or a bucket to store your finished ice cream base, a quality ice cream maker of your choice. The way we create our ice cream base is a method called a creme anglaise ice cream base. It's basically a custard ice cream base with the primary ingredients of heavy cream, milk, sugar, and the most important part in our eyes, egg yolks and lots of them. Next, we're going to teach you how to set up your workspaces into stations and where you'll need which items for each step of the process. This will help you stay organized instead of fumbling for items you need during time-sensitive steps of cooking your ice cream base. Station number 1 will be your cooking station. Here you will need your stovetop, your saucepan or pot for cooking the base, a whisk, and a good cooking thermometer. Always have hand towels or napkins ready in case of spills and splatters. Ice cream is a messy process in the kitchen. Station number 2 is your tempering station. You're going to need a bowl for the yolks, a whisk, a ladle, and a cooling rack to set your hot pot on during the process. Have towels ready as speediness takes priority over drips and splatters. Station number 3 is your flavoring station. This is where you will combine your creme anglaise ice cream base with whatever flavors that make up your ice cream. Next, we're going to show you what ingredients you need to make your chocolate ice cream recipe. Heavy whipping cream, whole milk, granulated sugar, egg yolks, cream cheese, sea salt, vanilla extract, corn syrup, fresh strong brewed coffee, cocoa powder, 70% semi-sweet chocolate. At your flavor combining station, begin slicing your plain cream cheese into thin slices. Cream cheese has a higher fat content, and since fat repels water, it makes it an excellent addition to ice cream bases to help prevent later ice crystal formation, which can give the final frozen product an off-putting mouthfeel. It also adds a full-bodied flavor in small amounts that gives our ice cream a unique taste that many others don't have. Begin arranging your room temperature cream cheese slices in a layer along the bottom of your mixing bowl or bucket that you've set aside for your ice cream base. You can now set this aside for a bit. Now we're going to prepare our rich chocolate ice cream base. We'd mentioned a secret ingredient earlier, and it's fresh strong brewed coffee. We used Brewed coffee for this batch because it's local and has an excellent flavor, complementary to the chocolate. Instead of melting down the cocoa and chocolate base with heavy cream like most recipes call for, we save all the heavy cream for the ice cream base and hydrate our cocoa with a strong brew of coffee, adding a rich, strong-bodied flavor to our end result. It's important to note for those wondering or ready to bail on this recipe at this point, no, there is absolutely zero coffee taste to the end result of this ice cream. We're going to start incorporating the elements of our chocolate base. Starting with the granulated sugar, incorporate slowly as you whisk so it dissolves in the warming coffee brew. We're only going to use enough to give a sweet edge. We're going to let the sugar in the creme anglaise base be the real sweetness for the entire recipe. Next comes the cocoa powder. Pour your cocoa into the warm simmering coffee slowly until it is all incorporated, and over the next few minutes the cocoa powder will begin to hydrate and plump. Whisk with care as cocoa powder tends to fly everywhere and stick to everything. Learning this the hard way is not fun, so take your time. At this point, you can also begin to add your 70% semi-sweet chocolate. If you are a true dark chocolate fan, this can be substituted for 85% or greater chocolate, but we find that 70% is perfect. Whisk until everything resembles a smooth, evenly textured chocolate syrup, free of lumps or clumps of cocoa powder. Also make sure throughout this entire process that you are scraping the sides of the pot with your whisk to avoid burnt chocolate from becoming part of the mix. Burnt chocolate will give an unpleasant flavor to the chocolate base overall, so keep busy with your whisk. Never get impatient and turn your heat on high. Medium heat is perfect for this process because the mix can burn fast. We'll immediately remove our chocolate syrup mixture from the heat and bring them to our bowl with the room temperature cream cheese. Pour the chocolate mix evenly over the cream cheese, making sure to scrape every bit out of your saucepan to not waste any. You'll want to do this as quickly as possible as your pan is super hot and the thin layer on the sides will scorch as you pour, so keep it moving and get it all. Our cream cheese will soften even further in this process, being super ready to immersion blend once the creme anglaise mixture is ready to add over this in a bit. Now we're going to begin combining our ingredients for the creme anglaise ice cream base. We'll start with the basis for all best ice cream recipes, which is heavy whipping cream. Always try to use the highest fat content possible, which is usually around 35 to 40% milk fat. And next up is either your whole milk or your half and half. Whichever you choose, just try to make sure you go with a ratio of 2 parts heavy cream to 1 part whole milk for maximum creaminess, and butterfat content is your end result. Next, regular white granulated sugar is always your best bet for flavor. Heavy metal ice cream prides itself on focusing on the flavor of our ice cream rather than extreme sugary sweetness, so we tend to use less than the chains. Adjust this to your own tastes. The fourth component of your creme anglaise custard ice cream base is the most important behind the cream itself, the egg yolks. Most recipes call for an average of 4 per quart. We use a full dozen. That's 48 large yolks for every gallon of ice cream we make, and it's a huge factor in the resulting creaminess that we're becoming quickly known for. Yolks add a richness and a smoothness to ice cream texture that can't be touched by other ice cream cooking methods. It certainly won't make your recipe any cheaper, and it makes the process much more time-consuming, but the end result is beyond compare. You'll notice we don't pre-mix the sugar and the egg yolks. Sugar is hygroscopic and will pull the water out of the eggs, causing the egg proteins to clump, creating lumps in your mixture no matter how well you whisk. Instead, add the sugar to the milk and cream. We allow the sugar granules a few minutes to plump and fill with the dairy before applying heat for maximum flavor. We realize 90% of ice cream recipes do this differently, but we err on the side of caution and quality and allow the creme anglaise base to dissolve our sugar first. In the end, is one really better than the other? Probably not taste-wise, but it works for us. Cook the mixture gently to an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit using your candy or digital thermometer to track the progress, stirring constantly. At this point, you will remove your pot from the heat and transfer over to your tempering station. Reaching 160 degrees will destroy salmonella if present. It will also set the mix to a slightly thicker consistency, making it ready to temper into your egg yolks. Temper your egg yolks by quickly ladling a small ladle of hot dairy base into the bowl of yolks one at a time, constantly whisking the entire time. Basically, if you can remember rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time as a kid, then you can temper egg yolks successfully. The trick is to keep the whisk moving the entire time without stopping. Stopping can cause the hot dairy mixture to scorch the protein molecules, resulting in curdled yolks. And if you're wondering, yes, that basically means scrambled eggs. We do not want scrambled eggs in our ice cream, needless to say. This may seem like a super stressful process, but I assure you after a while it becomes second nature. Take a breath and remember, above all else, keep that whisk moving. Once you get to a 1-to-1 ratio of yolks to dairy mixture, you will now have a tempered custard that is safe to pour back into your sauce pot. Now that we've brought our yolks up to temperature, we're going to transfer them back to the pot. Quickly and firmly grasp your bowl by both sides and pour as a steady stream back into your pot. But wait, let's go back and watch that in slow-mo. See the lip of that bowl? That's right, no lumps, chunks, or scrambles. You're looking for a nice, smooth waterfall of delicious custard, just like this one. Even though we use yolks that are pre-pasteurized and none of our dairy is raw to begin with, Cooking everything together until it is all brought up to beyond 160 degrees assures safety and a significantly smaller chance of bacteria or foodborne illnesses. Translation: yay for not killing people. You're going to transfer your mixture back to the stovetop. We're going to bring the mixture back up in temperature, this time to a sweet spot of somewhere between 168 and 172 degrees. This not only makes sure your yolks are brought beyond a safe 160 degrees, but it forms a thicker, creamier consistency of your base, resulting in better ice cream. Try your best to never go above 172 degrees, as this will start to degrade flavor in your ice cream base. It's now time to move your creme anglaise base to your flavor combining station. Carefully grasp your stock pot and pour the base into the bowl containing the cream cheese and hot chocolate syrup mix. Pour slowly, safeguarding from splashes and splatters. Then grab your immersion blender and, starting with larger chunks of cream cheese, begin to blend until your entire mix takes on the consistency of a smooth chocolate custard. There will be no lumps and the color will be perfectly even, so blend as much as needed to ensure this. It is important that you make sure all of the cream cheese is completely blended as well, or else you will end up with white clumps in your finished ice cream. It'll taste fine, but it's not a good look. Finally, we'll add our last two flavor components to the base, which is the salt and the vanilla. And yes, as strange as it sounds, adding vanilla gives an amazing boost to the flavor of chocolate ice cream, rounding out the balance between the sweetness and the deep, robust chocolate flavor. Wait until your mix temperature is below 99 degrees Fahrenheit so you don't lose any vanilla flavor, and add to your mix. Immersion blend these last two ingredients one last time. Now it's time to begin bringing down the temperature of your mixed base. We're going to create what's called an ice bath. Simply find a bowl or bucket roughly twice the size of the bowl containing your ice cream base and fill it halfway with ice. Pour in about half as much cold water as you have ice, and then submerge your ice cream base bowl into the ice bath. Our goal is to bring the base temperature down to at least 40 degrees as quickly as possible. It is between 140 down to 40 degrees where bacteria like to reform. So the more quickly we can get to that temperature, the less danger there is of bacteria formation. It's now been overnight, and your chocolate ice cream base has had time for all of the flavors to develop and the base consistency to thicken very slightly. Your chocolate flavor has had many hours to bind with the proteins in the creme anglaise base, and your bold chocolate flavor is going to be second to no chocolate ice cream recipe that you've ever tasted. Go ahead and power up your ice cream machine. Higher-end machines like this one will have a convenient pre-cool function that allows you to chill the bowl to below 0 temps prior to churning, and also allows you to do batch after batch instead of having to chill the bowl for hours between batches. Now you're going to pour your chocolate ice cream base into your ice cream maker. You're going to allow this to churn either until your machine notifies you or until you see it turn to the consistency of a milkshake that looks a bit thicker than what you can get through a straw. At this point, you can now remove the chilled bowl from your ice cream machine and get ready to pack the ice cream into your freezing containers. It can be eaten right away if you like a soft serve consistency, but we recommend letting your container freeze for a good 6 more hours after it is packed for perfect chocolate ice cream. Thanks for watching this tutorial on how to make dark chocolate ice cream. They're gonna launch into little butterflies and fly away.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the thumbs up button to like it, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video.
We're actually recording right now.
Oh, are my eyebrows okay though? Ice cream.
Just with one hand? Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching Heavy Metal Ice Cream. 2, 3. One more.
Oh my god, boy. What do you mean?
Ready?
Yeah. Did you tell me to stop breathing so much air?
What? One more. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching Heavy Metal Ice Cream.
I hope you get electrocuted.
You guys are so nice to each other.
I know. You said like stop breathing so much air, and then
I wish you would.
Oh.
I thought you said stop moving your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said stop breathing.
Same thing.